Hello, so
Welcome to the second part of our 6 pieces peplum blouse. So now we'll be cutting out the fabric with our pattern paper. Now for the front part, I'm going to be removing the front peplum. That's the front peplum on the front part, because we're going to be putting our zip, as I earlier said, at the front part. So the center front is going to be straight. All right. So now while cutting your pattern on your right, by the side, you're going to add like half-inch joining allowance. Okay, you're going to have half-inch joining allowance. So you're going to cut two pieces for your front, 2 pieces for your side front, and then cut 2 pieces each for the back. All right, now this is how you mark your half-inch. Be able to get the curves of your outfit. All right, so you connect your lines, and then when you're done connecting your lines, please remember to notch your bust point, your under bust, and your half length. Remember to notch it. Please guys, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click on the subscription button and subscribe, like, share, and ask your questions in the comment section if you don't understand any part of a tutorial that I post here. So after cutting the front part, we're going to cut the back part, and after cutting for the main fabric, you're going to cut your lining. All right, now it depends on your preference. If you want to use a lining, you get a lining, but if you don't want to use a lining, make sure that you weave all the rough edges of your outfit. All right, you weave all the rough edges of your outfit if you don't want to use a lining, so that the inner part of your outfit is going to be neat. All right, so but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to use a lining for your 6 pieces blouse. All right, so this tutorial is beginner friendly. You will understand it. Just follow pattern, all the methods, all the steps, and then you will get it. So I've notched all the areas that I'm going to be joining. Remember, this is a princess that bustier 6 pieces blouse. So now I'm going to notch my zipper, the part where my zipper is going to rest on. Right, please always notch your outfit where you know you're going to make a particular sewing. Please always notch it to remind you. All right, so now I've cut 2 pieces for the front. I'm going to do the same thing for the side, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the back too. So guys, remember to add your half-inch in front. Okay, I'm taking this tutorial step by step, so that you see how to cut it if you're a beginner and you've never made a 6 pieces peplum blouse before. So you see the steps that you follow on how to achieve the final project. All right, so you cut out this pattern. Please remember to follow the bust shape. Can you see? Remember to follow the bust shape when you're adding your half-inch joining allowance. I already added 2-inch allowance in our outfit, remember, at the part 1. Okay, so now when you cut it out, you notch the areas that you need to notch. Now when you're cutting your 6 pieces peplum blouse with your pattern paper, it depends on your fabric. If your fabric has a pattern, your fabric is in horizontal form, please follow that same horizontal form when cutting your patterns. All right, if your fabric is in the vertical form, for example, if your fabric is straight, make sure you're cutting your pattern straight. If your fabric is sideways, make sure you're following the pattern of the material that you're working with. That's very important, because most people, they just place their pattern anyhow and they just cut. And then when they are done sewing the cloth, you see that the patterns are just wobbling. They are not in uniform. So make sure that if you're using a material that has pattern, make sure that you follow the patterns. Okay, so this is the pattern for the back. I've cut the material, and then this is the pattern and the material for the front part. Okay, so go ahead and cut yours now. All right, so after this, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to cut the line. Now when cutting the lining, you can choose to cut your lining the same length with your fabric. Okay, but I want the fabric to be turned up, that I want the fabric to be showing at the bottom part. I don't want when you flip the material over, right, you'll be seeing the lining. No, I want to be seeing the fabric, right? So I want to turn up the fabric, the peplum. I don't know if you want this English. I want to turn it up. So I'm going to make my lining shorter than the length of my fabric. So I'm going to go up by 1 inch for my fabric, so that when I'm done joining my lining to my fabric, this is how it's going to look. My fabric is going to be turned up inside. You're not going to be seeing my lining. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So the length of my blouse is 36, right? I'm going to cut my 26, sorry. I'm going to cut my lining length 25. So I'm going to go up by 1 inch. So the lining is shorter than the main fabric, so that when I turn it up, you're going to be seeing the fabric. Hope you understand this part. So that's why I just wanted to show us this part on how I cut my lining, so that we'll understand it better. All right. So after cutting the lining, the next thing that you need to do is to now start joining your fabrics together, your pieces. So we'll now have all the materials that we need to make this outfit. Hope you understand up to this part. Now the next thing we're going to do now, it depends on your preference. You can use gum stay to make your peplum stand very well. You can iron your soft gum stay from the half length, that's from your half cut that you notch. You iron a strong gum stay on the peplum parts. Can you see? Just iron your strong gum stay on the peplum part. It's going to make that part to stand very well. If you look at all these 6 pieces blouses are standing, the peplum is standing up, they added a strong gum stay. But I won't be adding gum stay for this particular tutorial. The gum stay is your preference. So now we'll be joining both the fabric and the lining independently. So we'll first of all work on the front part. So now I already have a tutorial on how to join a princess dart bustier. There's a detailed tutorial on how princess dart bustier. Now for this tutorial, you can also decide to add your breast pad on the breast part of this bustier. You can decide to add your breast pad, but I will not be adding a breast pad for this. I already have a tutorial on that. So now you get one side of your pattern, right? And then you attach it to your center front. Now remember, the center front is open because we're going to put zip there. So you first of all attach the bust part first. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I've attached the bust part independently on each side. Now can you see the breast area of this outfit? I did not add a breast pad, no, just like that. This is when you cut your princess dart bustier very well. The breast will already be standing. You don't necessarily need a breast pad. Do you get? See, there's no breast pad in this princess dart bustier, but it's standing very well. It's because I cut it very well. So if you don't know how to cut a princess dart bustier, you will learn it in this tutorial, or you watch that other tutorial on how to draft it. So now I've joined the sides to the center front. I'll do the same thing for the lining. All right. Now for the lining, to join the lining, right? You remember I marked 1 inch interfacing, 1 inch overlapping line, right? So I want my material to look like this when I'm done. Do you get? So the lining is going to start from where this material stopped, that 1 inch. All right. So now you're going to join your lining to your material. That's what I'm trying to explain here. You're going to material in by 1 inch. That's the interfacing line. You fold it in, right? And then you now join your lining to it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So now when you join your lining, the first step in joining the front is to first of all join the midpoint, the straight line. Do you get? So I remove 1 inch because I had 2 inches in the front part before. You remember that 2 inches I said for overlapping and the interfacing line? I added it on the lining too. So I'm going to remove 1 inch for the interfacing. I'm going to remove 1 inch, right? And then I'm now going to join the lining to the main fabric. Please hope you understand this part. Let me know in the comment section if you understand it. So now I'm just marking out the 1 inch that I want to remove, because we are folding the main fabric inside the how do I explain it? We're folding the main fabric inside the overlapping line, right? So that's why we're going to start from that overlapping line. That's where we're going to start fixing our lining. Hope you understand this part that I'm trying to explain. So when I out, then I'm going to fix it on my lining for us to see and understand what I'm trying to say. All right, so please, if you have any question up to this point, let me know in the comment section so I will explain better. I've joined my sides of the lining. Now I'm going to join it to the main material. All right, now when it comes to the pointed part of your peplum, right, you're going to give it a little curve, just a shape, small shape. Do you understand? Because you can't just sew your peplum like this, as pointed like this. No, just give it a little curved shape. All right, now the first step for the front, first of all, join your lining in a straight line. The straight, that's that zipper allowance area. First of all, join your lining straight down. That's the first step. Okay, now after your lining, the next thing you're going to do is to, I've joined my lining, can you see? Straight line. The next thing you're going to do now is to join the bottom, of your outfit. Now look at how I'm going to be joining. Remember, I marked 1 inch. The first 1 inch, I just folded it in. Now this is the reason why I removed 1 inch from the lining, because if I didn't remove 1 inch, the lining is going to be too big. Do you understand now? So now it's time for us to shape it. Can you see what I'm trying to say? Just give it a little curve. All right, now after joining that zipper allowance area, the next part you're going to join is the bottom. Please follow this procedure when you're joining yours, please. Then after joining the bottom, the next thing you're going to do is to join the sides. Now, if you watch in the part 1, I was trying to tell us that the reason why we extend that princess dart on the armhole area. Can you see that we extended it by 1.5 inch? Can you see the armhole area that it covered it? So if you don't extend your princess dart at the bust by 1.5 inch, you will find out that it's not going to cover up your armhole area, and then you now start joining my material, which doesn't look professional. It doesn't make sense. Do you get now? So now I've joined the bottom part. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to join the neckline. So I just did a simple neckline, nothing so, but you can create any neckline of your choice, right? You can create any neckline of your choice. Now, while making your neckline too, you have to fold your material in. Do you get? The same way we did for the bottom part. Do you understand? Do you get what I'm trying to say? You fold your material in. That 1 inch now that I told you people about earlier, you fold your material in. All right, then you join your lining to your main fabric. Do you get? That's for the neckline. So I'm done. Can you see how it's looking? So you have to turn it up from the armhole area. Please remember to iron. When you're ironing, open up your princess dart bustier and then iron it. Use water and iron it very well, okay? And then you turn it. We're done with the front part. Can you see the peplum part? It's standing even without the strong stay. Now can you see, this is what I was trying to achieve. I didn't want the lining to come out in the beginning. I wanted the fabric to be the beginning point. Then the base, can you see that it's the fabric that starts, not the lining? That's why I went up by 1 inch. Please, if you have a question, let me know at this junction. All right, so we're done with the front part. What's just remaining is to fix your zip, but the zip is going to be the last thing we're going to do. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is to work on the back part. The back part, just join the sides, the normal princess dart bust. They have joined the sides to the center. Remember, the back part is just one piece because the zip is in the right. You join the lining and then you join the main fabric. All right, the center back, you join your side back to your center back, right, and your back is ready. And then you turn up your lining with your main fabric with your lining, and we're good to go. So guys, we're almost done with this tutorial. If you have any question, let me know in the section. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click on the subscription button and subscribe, like and share the content, guys. So now our back is ready. As I said, it's just a simple neckline. Now let me teach you how to create join your front and your back shoulder, so that it's going to give you a neat work. Now when you get your front dress, right, your front blouse, you're going to the back of your blouse to turn it up. So you place your back like so, and then you flip your lining over. Do you get? Some people, when they join their shoulders, you'll be seeing the stitches. No, this is a neater and a more professional way of joining your shoulders. All right. Now, after joining your shoulders, the next thing you're going to do is to shape your outfit. Now, I'm also going to show you how to shape your outfit. Can you see how neat the shoulder is? If you're a novice, you'll be asking, how did we turn this? How did we turn this? Now, please remember that before shaping your outfit, you have to pin the zip area. You have to pin it, right? So that you get a perfect shaping. Now, to shape your outfit, you first of all get your measurement. Now, the measurement I'm working for the bust is 37. Divided by 2 is 85. The first thing you need to do is to measure the bust area. So the bust area that I got is 22.5. Now, 22.5 minus 18.5, you're getting 4 inches extra. So from one part of your dress, you remove 2 inches. From the other part, you remove 2 inches. When you measure from the lines that you marked, you see that you get your accurate measurement, right? So whatever you get in the full length of your dress, right, you subtract it from the exact measurement. Then whatever excess is you divide that excess by 2, remove from both sides so that your outfit will be equal. This is how to shape your outfit. So now I'm going to mark the remaining measurement and join the dress. I'm done joining the sides of our peplum and how it's looking, right? Can you see that the dress is already coming out well? So the next thing we're going to do is to do your puff sleeves. All right, for the puff sleeves, I'm going to show you a freehand method of making it. The freehand method that I use, what you just need is enough fabric. Get the length of your sleeve, right? The length of your sleeve. Then you measure your round armhole from one armhole to the other armhole. Whatever you get, you have to multiply it by 2 because you want a puff sleeve, and a puff sleeve you have to draw gather to it, so you need excess fabric, so you have to multiply it by 2, right? Now whatever you get, you multiply it by 2 and then you mark. You first of all mark your sleeve length. Can you see the sleeve length that I'm working with? And then when you mark sleeve length, you go up by 2 inches. You go up by 2 inches. I'm going up by 2 inches because I want it to be very puffy, right? That's why I went up by 2 inches. So when you go up by 2 inches, can you see? You mark it at the center of your sleeve. Can you see? And then just connect it back to the first line that you made. Can you see what I did? Just connect it back to the first line that you made. Then on the sleeve, on the round sleeve, if your round sleeve is 14, right? 14 divided by 2, you're supposed to mark 7 for your round sleeve. You can mark like 14, that main 14, because you're going to put elastic band to it. And anything you're adding elastic band to it, you have to double the size. You have to double the size of that measurement. Do you get? If you're making a skirt that has elastic band and your waist is 32, you know that the material you need to make that skirt is 64, so that when you add your band or when you draw gather, it will now shrink back to your main size. Hope you understand this part. So this is the freehand I use in making my puff sleeves, and I thought to just show us. I hope you understand. Okay, initially if you're looking at it, you think that this is not going to give you your puff sleeve, but don't worry. At the end of the day, you see it. So after cutting it, the next thing I'm going to do now is to draw my gather at the upper part, right? I'm going to draw gather at the upper part. Then when I'm done drawing the gather, I'm going to now place it on my sleeves, my armhole. Do you get? Now when you place it on your armhole, you pin please remember to notch the center of this your sleeve, right? You pin the notched center on your shoulder part, and then the edges on the end of your armhole. Do you understand? So I've drawn my gather like so. Can you see that the material now is now smaller? Hence the reason why I said you should double the measurements that you get. Now you pin your material, your center, the center that you notched to your shoulder area, and then the edges to these 2 sides of the edges. It's just going to help you to be able to distribute the gather adequately or accurately, right? So that's how to make your puff sleeves. When you're done with your joining it to your main fabric, the next thing you're going to do is to fold the bottom part and put your elastic on it. Okay, so when you fold your bottom part and fix your elastic on it, so when you fold your bottom part, right, you're folding your bottom part, it depends on the elastic that you have. So you have to measure your elastic and you fix your elastic. Can you see? Then you decide, you close one edge, that's you match it down, and then you decide height or how loose you want your elastic to be. You pass your elastic with a pin, a safety pin, round your round sleeve, right? So this is how to pass your elastic, and this is how to make your puff sleeve, and then you close off your sleeve. Now the last thing we're going to do is to fix our zip. All right, so guys, I've fixed the zip of this outfit and we are good to go. So this is how to make your 6 pieces Princess Dart Bustier Peplum dress blouse. You can rock this with a skirt, a trouser, anyhow. So guys, if this tutorial was helpful to you, please like, share, and importantly guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now guys, can you notice how the peplum is standing and we didn't add a strong gum stay? But if you add a strong gum stay, yours will stand more than this. So thank you guys for watching. See you on my next tutorial. Bye.